folks, so I'm going to start off by showing you how to make this card here. See, voila. Okay, so in your kit you will have an envelope. Ooh, what's in the envelope? What's in the envelope? How exciting. So you'll have a piece of vellum like that, and a oval-y piece, and some leaves. One of those for a flower centre, and then you'll also have 2 pieces of that and one of those. Obviously a card and potentially an envelope. Oh, who would have thought? So what we're going to do to begin with is we're going to create the background. Oh, you'll also have one of these as well, which is your instructions, and it tells you sort of any pieces that are being cut and things like that, the sizes of those. So obviously you're going to be using your own inks on this, and your own glues, so it's up to you what colours you choose. If you want bright pink and purple, or I don't know, green and no, the green probably wouldn't be a good idea. Anyway, you know what I mean. So I'm gonna make a different one. With this one was done with Calypso Coral and Balmy Blue, and this time I'm gonna try Flirty Flamingo and Gorgeous Grape. Apparently there's an easy way of opening these, is to press the end like that, and it does open a lot easier, and potentially doesn't end up getting ink all over your fingers when you do it either. Ho, maybe. Alright, so decide which one's going to be which and go for it. So you're just going to add, so you'll need daubers for your colours, which I'm hoping that you already have. And just a case of add them. If you don't have a dauber, you can always use a sponge, so that would work as well. So you'll end up with ba-bam, and you just want to do a few of these, so it won't take me long to do a few. Might just have to bear with me while I do. Remember, make sure that they come off the page as well, because if you don't bring them off the page, then it sort of means that the pattern isn't quite so... I'd love to say I know what the answer that I'm trying to find there is, but I'm not finding it. It's gone. Anyway, you know what I mean. And that'll do for my last purple one. Ooh. There is an advantage with the fact that we're using a stencil like this, is that if you suddenly discover like this bit there that you missed it, you can just add it back on and do it. So then we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo for the other side, and you can actually allow them to overlap each other, and whoa, this colour's dark. Oh well, mind. That was, I've obviously re-inked this ink pad at some point in the not so distant past, because that's definitely coming out a lot brighter than I was anticipating it doing so. Maybe one down the end here. You just keep going until you basically have something that you like the look of. And you aim not to accidentally shove this one in this colour, because I managed to do that with the last card that I made. Hence the fact that I have one that's slightly darker than the normal blue. And as I did it, I went, that does not look right. And then I looked at what I dunked it in and went, that'll be why. Okay, so once you've got your creation round like that, decide if you want which colour you want to go around the outside with. So seeing as I've got the Flirty Flamingo, I'm just going to go ahead and pop it round the outside there. And if you want it to end up looking sort of slightly more smoky, what you can do is you tap off the excess colour, and then you just very gently go around like that, and it gives you sort of a much more smoky sort of look on it. Like that. Isn't it funny? I never really think I talk this much, but obviously I do. Obviously talk sufficiently amount enough to be able to do this. And then you can do whatever you want to with that, so it's good to be used again if you want to make more cards with it. So we will pop these inks. No, we won't. Well, we'll put this one away for the time being. Flirty Flamingo, I don't think we need that. No, we do. Oh, Heather. Gee, you haven't got anyone reminding me like I do in class. Heather, you haven't done such and such. So, what you're now going to do is you're going to ink these ones up, which were your ones that have come out of the centre of this. So, because they are going to be... So you want these ones to be as dark as possible, really, because you want them to make a contrast with the rest of your card. So, so that in theory, the ones on your card that have been sponged and daubed on are not going to be quite as dark as the ones that you've got here. So these ones will stand out a bit more. That's the theory anyway. We'll see how the practice actually comes into play. So just adding. Oh. Just bear in mind that sometimes it wants to flip back on you like that. Come on. There we go. That's a bit better. And the last bit. Maybe I should have done one of the other cards that wasn't quite so coloured first. Never mind. Alright, so we've got those. No, I keep trying to put that one away, but I did think I might use the stamp set with this one. So the stamp set that I used was well said because there's so many different sayings in it. I just love, you know, my life is better because you're in it. Whatever, whenever, I'm here for you. Know that love, prayers and caring surround you today. I really liked the one that I used on this, which was sending healing thoughts your way. So I might try and find that one again. Sending healing thoughts, healing even. There we go, healing thoughts. And let's find a. So when you pick up a stamp, it's actually the best way of doing it is to actually lay it on the table and pick it up like that. Because that way you're not going to get your little sticky mitts all over the back of it and things, and then you don't need to press it hard. You can just tap, 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 turn it over, have a quick check, make sure that it's all good, and hopefully you can see this because I have to bring it this way so I can see it. And there we go. Then just pick a colour just to go round. Oh, I've gone and used the Flirty Flamingo one on it. Well, never mind, it's going to be an interesting mixture of purple and pink now. That was not bright. Honestly, Heather. Okay. Well, thankfully it didn't end up with too much purple on it. Ho hum. Okay, the other thing I did do was I actually coloured this in slightly. So on my main card, you'll be able to see I used a green on it, which I had planned to do, but I didn't bring the green in with me. So instead of green, we're just going to go with the purple. So we're going to go the Gorgeous Grape, otherwise we'll be reading it in French. And so you're just going to sort of try and blend the colour into this. And it doesn't matter if you actually shove your fingers in the middle of it because that's going to be over top of it. But if you shove your fingers at the end, it will take the colour off. So you can probably see just there that there's a little fingerprint mark. However, I think that's going to be covered over. So yes, that's good. All right. Then we are going to go with, let's pop the ink pad away. Are we still rolling? Yes, we're still rolling. Excellent. Wow. And I go 1, 2, 3 dimensionals. Did you know that if you press down on the edge of the dimensional, it actually brings the edge up? And no idea why I seem to have 2 bits on this one. Oh, yay, now it's stuck to my thumb. There we go. Alright, so that can now potentially go the right way up, but it doesn't matter too much because it's not on the card yet. That's that. There we go. That sort of ish straight. And then we're going to make these up. So I've used some of the mini dimensionals with this one because they actually fit nicely behind the flower. So one little mini dimensional. How cute is that? Where do you see it? Can you see it? Am I holding it in the right place? I'm probably holding it off the frame or something. That would be really handy, wouldn't it? Then that can sit on top of there. Oh yes, I think I managed to get that in the right place. Then there's a little one of these that has it has a little backing bit on the bottom back of it. It's one of the perennial essence floral centers, which I thought would look kind of cute on there. And you can also just curl these up slightly so that you've got something a little bit different. I just usually slide my finger along to the end like that. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing now. And that will just give it a little bit of a puffy up bit. I think I might move mine around a bit on this one. So the other things you want to do is add these to the back. So to do that, I've actually just gone with a bit of Tombow glue. That way I can position them sort of wherever I feel would look good. Okay, thought I had it. Obviously I need to add more glue. Seriously. Good thing about the Tombow is that you can sort of add the glue and then you can move it around very slightly as well. So I'll put this one over on the other side. And I am getting into a right sticky little mess here. So I'm just going to give myself a quick clean off there. Add it to my trousers, as you do. That's why I wear black when I'm doing crafting, or dark colours. And just add just a wee bit more glue to the back of that so that you can then attach that down to wherever you feel like it on your card. And a little bit of this onto the back of there. I'm going to go with an angle because then it's not going to be quite so obvious that, that I haven't quite made that right. There we go. So let's move that out of the way, that in and that in. And there's two just different because I've just used different inks in it, and you can too. So I will stop this one there and we'll